Hi, this is Dr. Wright. Welcome to Better World, the show that asks you one question. What is the one thing that you would do to make the world a better place? I'm your host, Dr. Letitia Wright, and I want to introduce today's guest, Dame Doria Cordova. But before I say that, I want to say thank you for making this episode possible to my clothing sponsor, Blessed by Design, and Teresa's Boutique too. In the credits, you can see their URL. Please visit them. They have great clothing for plus size women. They make the show happen. Thank you, Dame Doria, for coming out. I want to just read a little intro about you. To let everybody know, if you don't know who she is, Dame Doria Cordova, CEO, owner of Accelerated Business Schools, Money and You, the organization that brought to the world entrepreneurial, experiential, transformational training programs, now both on and offline since 1979, with over 200,000 graduates from over 85 countries. The renowned Money and You program has inspired some of today's best known business, education, and wealth experts and has touched the lives of millions, including Robert Kiyosaki. Many of today's wealth and business leaders have attended Money and You programs and transformed the way that they teach and run their business organization. Dame Doria is a global business developer for organizations that are in alignment with her purpose to uplift humanity's consciousness through socially responsible business. One of her missions is to transform educational systems around the world and eradicate poverty and hunger. Another is the greening of the world. All the endeavors that she's involved in must be aligned with those missions. She's a best-selling author. She's published a Money and You book series, which has educated the masses with tools, techniques, and principles tens of millions use to reach financial and personal success. She is now leading this work through Doria Cordova Foundation. You can see her at meetdoria.com. I know that you are in the middle of a writing spree. Um, so why don't you tell everybody what you're up to now? I don't know if you want to talk about the book yet.
Well, I'm in the process finally of writing the Money and You book. And as you were mentioning a little bit earlier, my mentors, the work that I inherited, that was created back in 1978. Can you believe that? And I inherited that work. And so finally, after decades and decades, almost 45 years later, I am going to be putting the work out there. And it's really interesting because what the subject, is we are really about churning out social entrepreneurs, people that no matter what walk of life, what businesses, what profession they have, what career they have, that no matter what they do, they can always have that element of doing good for others, doing good for humanity, having a positive impact in the life of one or two or as many as you wish. We were talking about influencing the world long, long before the word influencer was even known in the world. So it's about doing good and creating wealth, which has to do with deservability. A lot of us that grew up middle class, we were not trained to allow ourselves to becoming wealthy, to having tremendous wealth that we can do good with. So we have to train ourselves to doing that. And that's what I do.
Absolutely. And I'm so thankful that I got a chance to meet you that day. I was invited to Money and You. I came late. I didn't come the Thursday night. And I was invited to Money and You by my friend Aggie Coburn. And she's the kind of friend for me. I can't talk about her relationship with anybody else, but for me, she's the kind of friend that anything she invites me to, I find a great benefit from. So at that point in our relationship, and at this point now, I don't even really ask. If she calls me and says, "Hey, come to such and such," I just come. I don't worry about where it is, who's going to be there, what's going on. So I literally didn't know what was going on when I got there. I didn't know what it was. It was just like, just come to this class. We're gonna go to this class. It's gonna be great. And I just showed up, and my life has never been the same. So I am so thankful for her opening the door and getting to meet you, and thankful for where we are now. Very, very grateful. So I do want to talk about, we do have an upcoming Money and You class. Do want to share that a little bit, give that information for those who might be interested in coming.
Well, not only do I want you to go to moneyandyou.com and learn more about Money and You, which will be from May 1, which is a Wednesday night, until May 4th, a Saturday night in San Diego. And it's 3.5 days. And but I also want you to go there because I have a gift for you, which is the for you to download an ebook that I wrote a long time ago, but it's timeless. And it's called the Business Success Model. And it's a gift for you that will really help you. And earlier I was mentioned about deservability, about our ability to be able to accept tremendous goodness. So if you go to fridayswithdoria.com and you want to sign up there for any program, and you will have an opportunity to be able to have access to replays of experts and masters. And of course, we have our beautiful Leticia in there too, of all the replays since April of 2020. We started that to support our global network. But under resources, you want to go to magical exercises. And those are these powerful exercises that I did very, very young to begin to clear my own family patterns of how I was affected around money and wealth and success. Even though I had a super groovy mother and auntie, they were entrepreneurial in the 40s, in the 50s, but they were amazing. But society gets to you, school system, which is still not designed to really empower human beings to be all that they can be, and then to absolutely begin to clear those beliefs or those decisions, and that you have in your unconscious and your subconscious, so that you can make true new choices. So between doing the magical exercises and you attending the Money and You program, then for 3.5 days, you have an opportunity to go through experiential games that will bring out those beliefs also, but at a whole other level, because there's nothing like experiential learning. It's the difference between me telling you how to ride a bicycle and you actually getting on a bicycle and riding it. Very big difference, which all education should be that way. So do go to moneyandyou.com and download that gift, and Fridays with Doria, and download a second gift.
I'm going to just cut that out. Very good. Thank you so much. All righty. So here's the big question of the day. What is the one thing that you would like to see happen to make the world a better place?
For people to become really aware that your deservability level, your willingness to accept greater happiness and joy and health and opportunities, and to have access to wealth, is on a daily basis to be practicing what they call random acts of kindness. So, like for instance, one of the things that I do is I carry a lot of ones with me, either in my computer bag or depending on where I'm going, I put it in my pocket. But when I go and I stay in any hotel, no matter where I am, on a daily basis, I put at least $3. And then on the last day, I put $10. And that is for the people that are going to cleaning up the room, aside from the fact that I leave my room pretty clean. So it's just to show some kindness to the people that we don't know what situation they're in. Maybe that $3 is going to be the only money they'll have for food that day. And so do little things like that. The other thing is that becoming really aware that even though some of us work very, very hard to get ourselves to the level of success that we have, that not everyone has had that supportive family. Not everyone has had a supportive environment where they can really thrive. As a matter of fact, there's just way too many people that have really grown up in environments that were like that they survived is a miracle. So what are all the things that you could do for another? Like I always think, and thank you so much for having run with that beautiful exercise, adopt a homeless. And we could say adopt an unhoused person now.
Okay, we could change it to adopt an unhoused. we're gonna work on something to make it flow, but it's a blessing to be able to expand it with your support. That's amazing. I'm sorry, let me let you finish.
Oh, no, no. I mean, I was just going to say, you're training me on, because I mean, I come from the days when people used to be called bums,
Mhm.
and I used to say, wait a minute, they don't really look like bums. They look like they need something. I mean, I was
Yeah.
born with the awareness that there were people that needed our support. So when I have personally, at different stages of my life, adopted an unhoused person. And basically, I didn't take them home with me. I basically just watched where they were staying, and they became part of my routine for me to bring. And sometimes they weren't leftovers because I wanted to eat the whole meal, so I would order a second meal to go bring that to them. Or the fancy China Airlines pajamas that were so nice. I used to say in San Diego, there's somebody running around with the best pajamas on the planet, and leave the little pajamas, extra ones. And I used to ask the flight attendants and tell them, I'm going to share this, with people in the street, and they would give me three or four, which they weren't supposed to. And I did. And
Yeah.
so when you become aware on a moment to moment basis on what is needed around you, what is it that you could do to just make somebody else's life a little bit better, to even I even clean. I know that this is crazy, but I've been doing this my whole life. I literally clean public bathrooms. I do pick up a clean piece of paper, and I'm cleaning out just to leave the environment more beautiful. And every human being, we teach in our programs that every human being is like an experiment. We are experiments in this life. So when we begin to do things that make the world better, from little things to big things, like we churn out social entrepreneurs that then go and do magnificent things, those are the big things. But even when you do little things, when it's your turn to receive, you will find that all of a sudden all these doors open for you. And I don't know whether there are angels that are watching. I don't know whether we become magical. I don't know whether we program ourselves to receiving more. I actually have no explanation for it. I just know in my life, for myself, and the many people that I know that are just naturally generous and kind and loving to others, their lives just kind of flow. And even if a lot more, and even if you start doing it just for that reason, what's going to happen is that you begin to pick up this habit of being generous, of being loving. And then, of course, thank you, Leticia, who you have taught me about, where the children really stand in a corner and ask for money. And I have learned that they don't. And then I have a really good sense of people because of all the self-mastery work that I've done on myself. I kind of can feel when someone is genuinely in need, or someone is like their part-time job to stand in a corner and receive money.
Mhm. Yeah, for
So I
children, for unhoused, I just want to throw this in here for people that are thinking about that. For unhoused children, and she lives in San Diego. There's a lot of great parks down here. I live not far from Orange County. For children standing on the corner, sometimes they're getting money to go to the park. They're just gathering money, and people feel sorry for them and they give them money. They know the hustle. The other thing is trafficking. If you see a child standing on the corner, they're probably being trafficked, and they're probably being watched by somebody very dangerous. So there's a lot of in between. And so when we see that, um we definitely very casually kind of act like we're not talking to them, but just say, hey, are you safe? Do you need anything, without like being on them? Are you safe? Are you okay? You got to approach it in a very specific way, because sex trafficking is big, big money. That's why nobody's trying to stop it, because it makes a lot of money for a lot of people. And so you want to be very, very, very cognizant of children. But yeah, like you said, tipping people. Our family comes from all over the country. We gather in Dallas and go to a Dallas football game together. It's just family time together. But one of the fun things is teaching the children how to tip the hotel staff. So when the hotel staff is, coming down the hall, because some hotels will be like, do you need towels? Do you don't need towels? Well, we need towels every day. So I give them the money and teach them to walk up to the person and say, whoever the cleaning person is, say, thank you. I'm in so and so. We do need new towels, and give them, so we teach them to give and be generous, and then you see them later being spontaneous. The one child I was working on in the last trip, he just got a letter from a historically Black university to come take a tour of the campus. Complete
Mm.
surprise. So that means that they're looking at him to come to that college, and he's only in the ninth grade. So you're right. It makes us magical.
And the thing is that also, it depending on who you are, if you have a lot of influence and you are in front of certain audiences. And so I personally, I'm a bit of an outrageous person in a very responsible, loving manner. But I sometimes get in front of a bunch of CEOs, very successful human beings, particularly in the Asia Pacific region. And I have spoken about human trafficking, but not, I didn't start the conversation with that. I just say, if you want to make the world better, and all of you are beautiful males, and we totally understand that if you want to go to, a lady of the night, and we all understand what we're saying, that's one thing, and of course, if you can tell whether someone is a professional, they're there because they choose to, they get paid a lot of money. There's different things. But the minute that, that you try to pretend that somebody is very young, and there's a whole other energy, there's a whole other vibe, don't don't do that. Don't do that, because that's somebody's child. And just, I mean, the room, I mean the room just kind of like, and you can actually tell sometimes when you have pedophiles in the room, because they can't help themselves, they start turning all kinds of colors.
Mhm.
And I'm not there to bust or to judge anybody, but I'm just like I'm asking you, as leaders and as responsible human beings, to help us to eradicate human trafficking. And how it starts is by you speaking up and you not doing it. And I thank you so much for all those beautiful children that suffer so much. And it's like, I have had people that went, you didn't tell us you were going to say that. And I said, I don't need your permission.
You
It's like,
didn't
I
tell us you were
am
going to say,
a,
don't be bad.
and it's like, I am, you know, I don't know why it came over me to say that. And I actually don't, because there's many rooms when I don't do it, and there's many rooms when I do it. So that's outrageous. I get it. Not everyone has the level of influence and respect that I have, but you have to understand that wherever we are in life, that level of kindness, and it's so needed right now. It's so needed not only in the United States but all over the world. So thank you so much, Letitia, for having this beautiful project to teach us to learn from all these different people. And you can, I mean, there's so many things. Like right now I'm doing this whole thing with iPads and electronics. So I'm going on this very fancy cruise, and when I go on cruises, I get everybody to bring all kinds of children's books and clothing and diapers and all these things. And I couldn't get these organizers to do it, and they're going to get a piece of my mind when they see me. And but I did talk him into, can we ask for electronic, for little iPads or telephones that they no longer use. So in my mother, she's 90, going to be 99 this year. She's in a nursing home. She has a beautiful case of dementia, which not all of them are, but there's many people who are bedridden that are completely lucid, and they are going out of their minds with boredom. Well, now we're providing iPads with just YouTube in there. We put in the funny cats and dogs for them, for starters, and teach them how to use it. And these people were saving their lives. So look around you. Like there's always a need, and how easy it is to ask people to send you their old iPad that they no longer use. We don't need the ones that take apps. They just need to be able to connect to Wi-Fi and have YouTube in it. And you can do that. So I'm going to be writing a book for our foundation. It's actually all the different ways that you can contribute every day. And so just follow me, the Doria Cordova Foundation.org. It will be there in probably in a few weeks' time. But you can always, find me. I'm everywhere. Facebook, I'll probably be posting it there. And you'll be able to have a little ebook that will teach you how to be kind all the time. And just people don't know. People don't know that what to do. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that no one ever taught them to, besides writing a check, because many successful people are taught to just write a check and send money. Whereas I have been teaching people for many decades, not just write checks, that's good, but you also need to just go with your energy and go and feel so that you're not terrified of losing all your money. Because a lot of very successful people, their number one fear is losing everything. And part of that is sitting right underneath. This is why you want to do the clearing with the deservability exercises, the magical exercises. Right underneath, they're terrified to lose that. And once you begin to be generous and get in touch with that fear, once you clear it, you can really enjoy life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys can, you'll see all of these links in the credits that come up right after that. And join us next time so you can get inspired for the next idea, the next big idea for you to be kind in the world. Remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. Therefore, here am I. Let's fly.